In a single afternoon, he lost everything he had, and then some. One position swallowed a small fortune, years of overtime, and the deposit on a home he would now never buy. All of it dragged down by one red line crawling across the chart. When the screen finally froze, the number didn't look real. A negative balance. He hadn't just hit zero. He owed the broker money that was never his to begin with. No shouting, no smashed keyboard. Just a man sitting perfectly still in the glow of the screen, staring through it, like something inside had been switched off for good. And here's the cruelest part. Only weeks earlier, the whole internet had crowned him a genius. Screenshots, applause, strangers begging for his next move. This wasn't some clueless beginner. This was the champion. The best of them. Give him one night, and he'll be back tomorrow, tapping buy, like none of it happened. If the market can hollow out the best of us, picture what it does to everyone else. Let me show you. Here's the first thing you need to understand. A gambler isn't a type of person. It's a condition. A quiet little virus that doesn't care who it infects. I've watched it wear every disguise imaginable. It can be the calm accountant 3 doors down. It can be the polite guy driving your Uber, phone propped on the dash, checking a chart at every red light. It can even be somebody's sweet grandma, quietly betting her pension between 2 rounds of bingo. Age, income, IQ, none of it matters. The virus doesn't read resumes. And after all my years watching these people come and go, they've taught me one law that never, ever breaks. Doesn't matter how clever you are, how disciplined you swear you'll be, or how bulletproof your little system looks. Everybody loses in the end. Every single one. The only thing left to decide is when your turn finally comes. But nobody is born a gambler. So how does an ordinary, sensible person mutate into one? Trust me, it always begins the exact same way. Let me tell you exactly how they reel you in, because it has happened to every single one of them, and it always runs in 3 neat steps. Step 1. The bait. You're half asleep, scrolling your phone, when a grinning stranger appears, leaning on a Lambo that isn't his, purring that money should work for you, while the suckers waste their lives, clocking in for a paycheck. It sounds so obvious. So you download the app. Step 2. The sting. Your very first trade, pure blind luck, nothing more, turns green. A couple grand appears out of thin air in 15 minutes. No boss, no sweat, no permission needed. Somewhere behind your eyes, a switch quietly flips. Step 3. The trap slams shut. Dopamine rolls over you like a warm wave, and one poisonous little thought takes root. Why do I even bother going to work? Congratulations, you're not a normal person anymore. You're an investor, and the hook is already set deep. But you have no clue who's really holding the other end of that line. So who is really pulling the strings? Meet the man I call Old Man with a Phone. Picture an elderly gentleman far across the ocean, armed with the 2 most dangerous things, a smartphone and nothing better to do. He has never read an earnings report in his life and couldn't tell a barrel of oil from a barrel of pickles. Yet his thumb moves the market harder than any bank on the planet. He taps out, "It's all handled, folks." Oil blasts 20% higher and the crowd roars. 20 minutes later, actually, the talks collapsed. Oil drops like a stone, same crowd screaming. 20 more. Ignore that, wasn't me. And now the market just gives up and slides anyway. And in the middle of this circus, our brand new investor is trying to guess where the price lands next. Not calculate, not analyze. Guess like calling a coin flip while a bored stranger keeps tossing fresh coins. But one clueless old man isn't even the worst of it. The table itself is rigged before you ever sit down. So how is the table rigged? Brace yourself. This part sounds invented, but I promise it's real. There is only so much actual oil on this planet. Barrels, tankers, crude deep in the ground. A hard physical limit. But the paper bets piled on top of that oil outnumber the real thing many times over. Picture a tiny bar with a single keg in the back that hands out 1,000 drink tickets. As long as only a few thirsty folks cash a ticket at a time, the party rolls on and everyone smiles. But the instant all 1,000 storm the counter demanding a beer, and there's one keg, it is pure chaos. That right there is your 20% candle in 90 seconds. On the short run, price has nothing to do with logic or fundamentals. It is set by a stampede of frightened people, all lunging for the same tiny door at once. Now stir a bored old man and his phone into that mix, and you get the single most infamous day this market has ever lived through. The day accounts turn to ash in minutes. Let me take you back to that morning. The chats still go quiet when someone brings it up. The night before, a rumor caught fire. Someone threatened to choke off a narrow channel half the world's oil sails through. By sunrise, oil had lost its mind. The bell rings. Oil doesn't tick up, it detonates, 20% higher in a blink. Everyone who bet on a drop overnight wakes up not with a loss, but with a debt. They lost everything in their sleep and now owe the broker for the privilege. The crowd sees that rocket and does the most human thing. Piles in. Buy, 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 on leverage every last coin, because if it's flying now, it flies forever, right? Logical. Then lunchtime hits and the whole thing violently flips. Oil craters 20% the other way. In one day, it sliced everyone twice. First those betting down, then those chasing the pump. Gas eyed the circus and collapsed too, out of solidarity. And the headlines contradicted themselves every 10 minutes, like the news itself was drunk. You'd assume a bloodbath like that scares people off for good. Instead, one special breed logged in, grinning, certain their moment had come. Let me introduce the true believers. First, let me show you the faithful, the ones who lose with a smile. Meet FOMO Freddy. FOMO stands for fear of missing out, and Freddy has it worse than anyone alive. All week he watched oil climb without him, chewing his nails, tortured by a single thought. Everybody's getting rich but me. So he cracked. He bought at the very top, on that exact red candle where the smart money was quietly slipping out the exit. He clicked buy, and the market reversed so fast you'd swear it was personal. Then, chest puffed out, he announced in the chat that this was a long-term investment. Freddy, buddy, you bought it 40 minutes ago. Beside him stands Moonboy Mike. Mike sees a rocket in every green candle. The tiniest bounce, 0.5%, and he's screaming, "We are going to the moon, boys!" He's been underwater for months, his account bleeding out drop by drop. But the faith never wavers. Every red day is just the bottom, and the bottom is bottomless. He doesn't run on strategy. He runs on pure, uncut hopium. Both are dead certain the next candle is the one that finally saves them. And neither has met the people who've been losing for years and turned it into an art form. Now, the veterans of ruin, the ones who've bled so long they mistake it for a lifestyle. First up, all-in Al. Al has one position size. Everything. Diversification, stop losses, seatbelts, he takes all of it as a personal insult. So on the big day, he borrowed against his savings, cranked leverage to the ceiling, and dumped every cent into one bet. 2 hours later, the margin call hit. The broker didn't ask, didn't blink, it just closed him out and swept the table clean. Al didn't only hit zero, he ended the day in debt over a trade that lasted one lunch break. Across from him, falling knife Frank. His motto, "It's only a loss if you sell." So Frank never sells. When his coin drops, he buys more. It's on sale. It drops again, he buys again, catching a falling blade bare-handed and looking genuinely shocked at the blood. His average price is a crime scene, but he's sure the market owes him a bounce. Personally, then Perma-Bear Pete, who only ever bets on a crash, which is exactly why everything he touches instantly blasts to the moon. He's quite literally a human buy signal. 3 roads, 1 dead end, a big fat zero. But at least these 3 still blame themselves. Wait until you meet the ones who blame everybody else and the man quietly getting rich off all of them. Now the endgame. The one man in this zoo who actually wins. First, Conspiracy Carl. Carl lost everything, but he's never once been wrong. The chart was wrong. The broker paints candles to hunt his stop. The exchange is rigged. In a basement, shadowy men move the price against him personally. He fires off furious midnight rants, blaming every villain but the guy in the mirror. The best free entertainment on the market. Then Guru Gary. Gary trades as badly as the rest. His account is a graveyard. But he cracked the one strategy that works. He quit trying to beat the market and started selling the dream. Courses. Signals. A private millionaire club. Easy money for a small monthly fee. Feeding him. Loyal Larry. Larry pays for the club, copies every call, blows up anyway, then blames himself. Never Gary. I must have entered wrong, he sighs, and renews for another month. So here's the math. The only one who gets rich is the man selling the map, never the fools chasing it. But why does this cycle never stop? The answer is bigger than money. It's bigger than the universe itself. So why does this never end? Step back far enough and the answer has nothing to do with oil, brokers, or even money. It's written into the universe itself. Give it enough time and everything you know grinds away. Mountains wear down into sand. Oceans dry to dust. The sun swells, swallows the sky, then flickers out like a spent match. Whole galaxies are devoured by the dark, one by one, until the last speck of light blinks off and time itself stops. Nothing but cold, endless, perfect silence. Everything changes. Every currency, every empire, every flag and ticker and hyped up coin. Every genius you met in this video, Freddie, Frank, Gary, gone and forgotten. Except one thing, the gambler never dies. He's the one true constant of all creation. Because even there, in that final nothingness, no time, no money, no market left to trade, a single thought flickers awake. One more shot. This time I feel it. That spark is all it takes. A brand new universe erupts, galaxies ignite, clocks start ticking, and the whole circus begins again. All of it for one more bet. So don't rush to become the hero of this story. The house can wait forever. Your account cannot. If you made it this far, you're already sharper than most people trapped in this machine. Stick around. This channel keeps cutting these markets open, and one day the story might be yours. And do me one favor. Down in the comments, be honest. Which of these characters was really you? Or was it, you know, a friend?